AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Go!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Murray Musso. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. What a great time of year, man. The Saints and the Tigers both on the practice field, getting after it, counting down toward football season. This is a conversation we're about to have. We got a couple of segments with these two gentlemen in studio that we've tried to get this on the calendar for a while. Schedules sometimes aren't always easy to match up. But one of the things that I've been asked about, and LSU fans have talked about quite literally for years now, is the new arena conversation. And recently, some news linked that Our Lady of the Lake has been in conversations about the possibility of owning the naming rights of a projected new basketball and multi-purpose arena for LSU athletics. And so E.J. Kuiper, the president and CEO of the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System, and Ryan Cross, who's the VP of Government Affairs for FMOL, are good enough to join us in studio. Gents, it's a pleasure. Thank you for taking the time today. How are y'all?
Thanks for having us.
Great.
Nothing to it, right? Just another day, LSU in camp, running a big old health system, and you got a radio guy bothering you to come talk about an arena, right?
Go Tigers.
All right, go Tigers. Let's start there though, because I obviously talk a lot. We've got a great relationship with OLOL here. Maybe for either of you who want to start, maybe Ryan start. Just if you were to explain the lake and the relationship with OLOL and LSU.
Look, the history of LSU and Our Lady of the Lake goes back more than a decade, back to when, under Governor Bobby Jindal, they implemented the public-private partnerships for the hospitals. We closed Earl K. Long, broke down a two-tiered system of healthcare here in Baton Rouge, and decided to deliver all of that exceptional care through Our Lady of the Lake, brought the medical residents in-house into Our Lady of the Lake, a lot of the research that has led to many groundbreaking pieces of medical technology into Our Lady of the Lake, and things like the Level 1 Trauma Center, the Cancer Center, the Heart and Vascular Institute, all started more than a decade ago. 2 to 3 years ago, we took that one step further in a natural evolution and became the LSU main campus health partner, where we took over managing the Student Health Center, the interdisciplinary science building that's going to open up in just a couple of months on campus, the athletic sports medicine, and partnering to provide care for all 500 plus of our athletes that are on campus, and continuing that investment in medical education, training, and research. And now we're looking to the future as that partnership continues to grow, continues to evolve into what it can be when you take exceptional higher education through LSU, the flagship, and exceptional healthcare through Our Lady of the Lake and FMOL Health, and merge them together.
That's great groundwork to lay, because I think a lot of people maybe aren't aware of all the many ways that Our Lady of the Lake and LSU are interwoven. EJ, I know one of the things when you and I first met and were talking was just how expansive FMOL is beyond just Our Lady of the Lake. Can you maybe, for our audience, explain that partnership and relationship?
Sure, absolutely. We are the premier healthcare provider in the Gulf South. So we have facilities all over Louisiana, in Baton Rouge, in Lafayette, Monroe, and also in Mississippi. When I was recruited to lead the health system a year and a half ago, I was really impressed with the quality of healthcare delivered. But what really sealed the deal for me was that partnership that Ryan just talked about with LSU, to have two world-class organizations partner together and create exceptional care. It was something that was very exciting to me. And so we're very thankful for the partnership with LSU. I'm very impressed. I've been around the block a couple times, worked in several markets. And let me tell you, the LSU brand is top 5 in sports, period. And when we started looking at the naming rights opportunity, we hired some consultants that confirmed all of that for us. It's a world-class athletic department led by Scott Woodward. And, of course, we're losing Kelly Zinn. We're going to miss her. But there's some top-notch people that work for LSU.
You mentioned, so it's an interesting transition then to the naming rights for the new arena. You mentioned hiring some consultants. What are those? What was the fact-finding effort with the consultants aimed to do?
Mm-hmm. It felt like a natural extension of already a great partnership when we were asked. But when we were shown the opportunity and the world-class, state-of-the-art facility that we're hopefully going to build, we needed to get some information around brand equity and how LSU compares to the rest of college athletics and, quite frankly, pro football, pro basketball as well. And the results were absolutely amazing. The outreach that LSU has, the reach, the equity that they have built over the years is phenomenal and can barely be matched by anybody in sports. So we knew that it was a powerful partnership, but after getting that validated by these consultants, we knew it was the right thing to hitch our wagon to the LSU brand, which is world-class.
So just to clarify, so LSU reached out to the Lake initially to gauge interest in the naming rights.
You know, it was, and obviously we were already a premier
Sure.
healthcare partner, so it made sense. So they reached out. They had already been working on the plans for the arena. Gosh, it's almost 2 years now under the leadership of Charles Landry and John Enquist and Scott Woodward and Kelly Zinn. And so by the time we were brought in sometime last year during football season, they got us up to speed, and we got excited very quickly. This is, as you know, Matt, a once-in-a-generation opportunity for this community.
So it was about last fall when the conversation started. If I could just fast forward, I know the plans leaked, the renderings leaked. Where are things? We'll fill in the gaps in the middle, but where are things right now with the new arena? Right, either of you? Yeah, sure.
Sure. Yeah. We're pending Board of Supervisors approval. So as we continue to work through the paperwork and that process and some of that fact finding, we're pending a Board of Supervisors vote later this fall. And then hopefully we can get shovels in the ground.
And Ryan is talking about the LSU Board of Supervisors.
Right, the LSU Board.
There's going to be a workshop where the developers come in, where the business plan is going to be shared, the funding mechanism, some of the renderings, some of that stuff leaked early, and that's always a little bit awkward when that happens. But it doesn't change the story. Sure. This is a transformational project for LSU, for Baton Rouge, and beyond.
So Board of Supervisors approval, if that comes this fall, is that's the final step to be able to advance? What then is delaying that right now? Because as you mentioned, EJ, it feels like we have had this conversation for a couple of years now about the possibility of a new arena.
It's not necessarily delaying anything. It's a matter of making sure that we can show the LSU Board of Supervisors that we're taking every step from a due diligence perspective. So you want to make sure when you enter into a transformational project like this that you check all the boxes, that you make sure that the location of the arena is absolutely the right location, that the funding is the way it should be. There's so many, as you can imagine, angles to this that we want to make sure that the Board of Supervisors see all the great work that's been done over the last 2 years, and that's going to take a little bit of while to explain. So it makes perfect sense to do a workshop, make sure that everybody can reflect on it for a while before it then goes to the board for a final vote.
Do we know a definitive location for the arena, or are there still multiple locations being discussed?
No, I think the location has been shared already. It's going to be where the golf course is, very close to Alec Box.
Okay. That's a gigantic property there. So would it be closer to the river, closer to Nicholson?
It's close to Nicholson.
Okay.
And, the exciting thing is there's a lot of economic development that's going to be around the arena. For example, we've already announced that we're going to build a state-of-the-art sports medicine institute right adjacent to the arena, which will include orthopedic and sports medicine through our partners, Brock, athletic training, physical therapy, imaging, CT, MRI, ultrasound, X-ray, sports performance through our Traction partnership. So this is going to be the Taj Mahal of sports medicine. And quite frankly, we wouldn't do it if it wasn't for this arena project.
Sure. EJ Kuiper and Ryan Cross from FMOL are in studio with us, talking a little bit about the new arena project that's ongoing in the conversations. I don't know if you all are at liberty to say, but do we know terms of this deal, length, value, amount?
You're talking about the naming rights?
For the naming rights, yes, sir.
We know the terms, yeah.
So will those be kept private?
Yeah, I think, it might be already out there, but for me, that's unimportant. It's a significant investment that spans at least 10 years.
The length of time, I think, is probably, so 10 years.
At least 10 years. If you compare the investment, which is significant, but it does pale in comparison to the type of charity care that we're doing, the community benefit projects and programs, which is about $125 million a year. We're investing this year in our health system, $250 million, $250 million in our hospitals, in our clinics, in our people. So it just felt like a natural extension of what was already a really, really good partnership.
Well, why does it feel so important to deepen a relationship with LSU athletics in particular?
Look, I think it goes back to what EJ talked about. The brand is so recognized nationally. The care that we have been able to provide to LSU athletics, to the 500-plus student athletes that come through our clinics on campus over the last several years since we've had that partnership is so important. We have the absolute best physicians that I'd stack up against just about anybody when it comes to providing that type of orthopedic sports medicine care that we not only offer to LSU student athletes, as you often note on the show, but also offer to the Baton Rouge community and to our communities across the state of Louisiana and Mississippi. And so continuing to make that connection and to show that LSU athletes trust the team at Our Lady of the Lake. And it's important that our community know that trust is in place and that they can trust us with their care as well.
Guys, sit tight. We're going to knock out a quick break, come back. I do want to ask a timeline question. We'll delve into a little bit more here and other things that Our Lady of the Lake has going on to deepen their partnership with LSU Athletics. We're going to continue with EJ and Ryan. Stay with us here on AFR, presented by Relief Windows.
AFR.
Take 60 seconds and remind you about Glow Resources. When we talk about Glow every day, I use the phrase complete employer solutions. And for years, their slogan was complete employee solutions. And they changed it because it took some sort of self-evaluation to recognize what they are. And some of that is what they aren't. What they aren't is a temp staff agency. So if you're looking for a job, don't call Glow. They'll find you. Who Glow wants to deal with directly is you, the business owner, you, the HR manager, you, the hiring manager, you're the general manager. The person responsible in your organization for getting the right people in the right job to maximize efficiency, that's what Glow Resources does. They conduct nearly 15,000 interviews over the course of a year. It's an incredible number. And over that time, not once have they ever had a negative review on an interview. They're experts at finding the right people. GlowResources.com.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. And we do shutters too.
Continuing here on a Monday edition of AFR, EJ Kuiper, the president and CEO of the FMOL Health System, Ryan Cross, the VP of Government Affairs, joining us in studio. We had the fortune to talk to these guys and have a really cool conversation about the new LSU basketball arena. I shouldn't even call it a basketball arena, right? Because I think the plan
much more.
They're going to do, it'll be multiple sports, but then also, Ryan, you correct me with the verbiage here, but like a mixed use type complex.
Look, the arena itself will not only serve as a venue for LSU sports, men's and women's basketball, I think gymnastics, but a place where literally Baton Rouge will gather on the weekends, whether it's to attend concerts, whether it's to go to the mixed-use entertainment district that will ultimately find its home surrounding the arena on that 200-acre tract. It'll attract investments like our Sports Medicine Institute that'll be there on campus, additional research, clinical space, classroom space. There could be where students are going there. But, we look across the country at some of these downtowns. You think of Austin, you think of Omaha. We want to put Baton Rouge on that map as having an incredible place where folks can go to gather. But the economic development that will impact as a result of the arena on LSU's campus will trickle all the way down Nicholson Drive to downtown Baton Rouge, as we are allowed to then reimagine what is the River Center as a convention space, and potentially a new anchor hotel has been discussed as going up there at the River Center, where the River Center can become a hub for conventions that could fill the hotel and restaurant space in downtown Baton Rouge and just unlock incredible development all the way from the arena and Alex Box Stadium down Nicholson Drive into downtown Baton Rouge and even up to Memorial Stadium with some incredible plans that are being laid there as well.
Really? Like what?
Memorial is an incredible tract of land. It's an incredible space with the stadium that is not developed to the way that it should be. And I mean, there's been a lot of conversations of what could happen with that land if we were intentional about developing it in a way that could attract, potentially a semi-professional soccer league. There's a lot of different things that you could do that has been rumored and talked about.
I mean, that is an amazing space when you think about it. And for those that aren't familiar, just that area around Memorial Stadium, there's Pete Goldsby Field. The governor's mansion is right there as well in the turn by Fuqua Street. I mean, even back when I was in college, there were talks about like a commuter line connecting LSU and downtown. It feels like this could be maybe the ignition switch to kick a lot of those things, to kickstart many of those things. Can I just one quick follow-up? When you were talking about economic development and the entertainment district around a new arena, do you know if there are plans for residential?
I think everything's on the table at this point.
Okay, I didn't know if there was anything already discussed.
It's certainly discussed to bring more rooftops to the LSU campus, and that will happen when you provide world-class entertainment. Right, people are going to want to go there.
Sure.
And so you're right. This is going to be a big catalyst for wonderful economic development from the LSU campus to downtown to Memorial Park, all the way to Southern Campus and the airport eventually. Is
there? We mentioned if the board grants approval this fall. Hopefully shovels in the ground maybe in the spring. Is there a timeline?
Well, we're looking at 2029 for it to open up at this point.
So that would be the 29-30 basketball season?
Yeah, we're going to have to ask the LSU officials, but you don't want to move from the PMAC to the new arena mid-season.
Sure,
I think. Of
course. Yeah, so that's a question that probably needs to be directed somewhere else on Nichols Drive. But you understand I have to ask. But another part of what Our Lady of the Lake does, and we talked about it kind of as we started, is Our Lady of the Lake does provide the care, not just for the students, but obviously the student athletes as well. Mm-hmm. And one of the exciting things that you all have kind of cooking in the works is a new program to be able to tell a lot of the student athletes' stories. What can you sort of disclose about how that's going to look?
Look, over the last several years since we took over providing all the care through LSU Sports Medicine, we've had the privilege of caring for hundreds of student athletes over the years. Names that injuries that you've heard about that come to us as the provider of their care. It's time that those stories are told. And we've got a lot of athletes that are excited about telling those stories. And so we're looking forward to partnering with them over the coming months to do so, starting this football season into obviously next year with men's and women's basketball and baseball. We look back to last year when Coach Mulkey had a cardiac episode, a real scare, and came to Our Lady of the Lake, and the team there was able to provide the care that she needed to keep her on the sidelines, coaching the Lady Tigers to victory. And those incredible stories happen every single day inside the halls of Our Lady of the Lake and all of our hospitals.
And we've heard those stories now for the last year and a half. And Ryan and I and others on our team said, we need to start sharing those stories. When the athletes are saying, I trust my team on the field, but when it comes to healthcare, I trust Our Lady of the Lake. When they tell us that, we need to share that. This is pretty special.
Yeah. I know a pretty good radio show that would love to help tell some of those athlete stories. If any you're willing, I know a guy, can maybe put you guys in touch.
We can probably make that happen. I think that's something we can do.
If you're interested. Ryan Cross and EJ Kuiper from FMOL are in studio with us. So there's obviously so much focus on the new arena project, as that's been it's been a very high profile conversation. When you start to look into the future of the partnership with LSU, which you obviously are prepared to make a decade-long commitment, how else does that relationship evolve?
Look, I think, one example that really sums up the non-athletic side of our relationship with LSU that most people don't realize, sepsis is the number one leading cause of death in hospitals across the country. Just a devastating disease that can cause all kinds of problems and is clearly life-threatening. There was the world's first 10-minute rapid sepsis diagnostic test was developed between Our Lady of the Lake and LSU physician scientists here in Baton Rouge. Up until now, it took a couple days to get a laboratory test to confirm whether a patient that was sick in a hospital had sepsis or not. It was up to the clinician to make a judgment call. Now, in less than 10 minutes, there's a test that can tell you with almost 100% certainty whether or not that patient has sepsis. That was developed here in Baton Rouge because of the partnership that LSU has with Our Lady of the Lake. We're looking forward to doing more of those kinds of medical innovations that's not only going to reduce the overall cost of care, but also save, and most importantly, save immeasurable lives here and around the world.
As a big LSU baseball fan, I've heard of the sepsis test because it was
right.
You watched any baseball game, any LSU baseball game this year, and you were definitely going to hear that message, which it's a pretty profound thing. Well, the baseball Tigers, by the way.
Let's go.
Very good. And when I was in Omaha, I was lucky enough to be with the baseball team the first and the second weekend, and lived in Omaha for a number of years. That downtown transformed. It wasn't always that way, and it was the baseball stadium and the Creighton Arena and the convention center that turned it around completely. And that's what we envision here in Baton Rouge as well. I wish that for all of us that live here in this community.
What years were you there in Omaha?
I was there from 22 through 24, so right before I was recruited here.
How was so that's really fascinating because I think everyone that's been to Omaha and seen that downtown district, with the mattress warehouse, that's there as well, how they've been able to sort of build everything around, really, you correct me if I'm wrong, but around that baseball stadium, which kind of is the hub for everything?
That's right, yeah, and it was just a domino effect. You need that first big project to be initiated, and then public-private partnerships are happening. And, it's evolving so rapidly, it's wonderful. I was there for 2 weekends. I want to be there for 10 days next year. It's going to be great because, let me tell you, Matt, that baseball team is loaded again. Jay has loaded up the team one more time.
I think he's pretty good at his job. I think for as long as they keep Jay Johnson in that office at Alec Box Stadium, LSU is going to have a contender, man. He is. Right. You all both know well enough. He is relentless and tireless. We need a good result for the football team as well this year, man. They look so good.
They've got some dudes. They've got some dudes. If they can just gel, the talent is there on both sides of the ball. It's exciting.
Yeah. Which you spoke to the LSU brand. Which is so strong, and it's how they're able to be competitive in darn near everything. And hopefully a beautiful new arena project on the horizon. Gents, before we go, if people are interested in getting more info, or I don't know if people can help, if there's anything to do, what do you suggest people do? The website?
Look, have folks come connect with us on social media. We have the privilege of telling a lot of great stories of our team members, our doctors, our researchers, our partners, on social media every single day, whether you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever we call it these days.
I still say Twitter. It's just easy. It's a tweet. It's a tweet.
Come find us, connect with us, and enjoy that storytelling. But most importantly, we're here for our community every single day, around the clock. You can trust us with your care. We want to.
And then when it comes to the arena project, there's going to be a lot of stories coming out, and they're exciting. This is an exciting development for Baton Rouge. It'll transform this community. So I think as a community, we need to see a great opportunity when it's right in front of us, and this is one of those.
It's a long time coming. and for the work that Our Lady of the Lake and of course the FMOL, the sisters, have done for so many years, for a century. I mean, it's 100 years.
Over 100 years.
It's amazing to think about what that's meant for our community. I know I've shared my story many times. You know, my son's cared for at the Children's Hospital. I think back about all the different, over the 15 years I've done this job, that when the idea of a standalone children's hospital was just, was germinating, and many of the fundraising efforts, and now my son's cared for at that hospital. It's you live in this, I think you live in this community, even not just in Baton Rouge, but around, like we mentioned, about St. Elizabeth or Lourdes, so many of the other parts of FMOL. How many people are touched by the health system and the work the sisters have done and have continued for more than 100 years, which is amazing. So, gentlemen, I know it's not easy to carve out a half an hour of your day. So thank you for coming in. Thank you for your information, your candor. I appreciate it. We'll do it again soon.
We will.
Sounds good. Thanks,
we
Matt.
appreciate it. Ryan Cross and EJ Kuiper from Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System, FMOL, of course, with Our Lady of the Lake. We'll grab a quick break, and we'll continue on AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. By now, you know where they are. Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Don Moore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every day to buy local and shop local. Clegg's been around for 60 years, y'all. Bypass the big box store. Support great local businesses that have been embedded in our community for 6 decades. Look, they've got Johnny Naylor's Seeds. They've got all the best selection of flowers and plants and trees and shrubs. I mean, it's 90 degrees right now. We're in August. It's still 90. We got like 2 more months of summer. So get on by and make sure that you add that pop of color to your flower beds, your patio pots. If you need mulch or soil, bag or bulk, they got it. If you need all the products to help keep the pests away, like ants or roaches or mosquitoes, they can help you there as well at Clegg's Nursery. So buy local, shop local, and be sure to tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and we do shutters too.
If it's happening in Louisiana sports, you'll find it at louisianasports.net. From the New Orleans Saints and LSU to SEC rivalries, recruiting buzz, and sports betting headlines, we've got the stories that matter. Check it out now at louisianasports.net.
That was a great conversation. Really sincerely appreciate those gentlemen for joining us. EJ Kuiper, who's the president CEO of the FMOL Health System, and Ryan Cross, who's the VP of Government Affairs. They came in and gave us a lot of good info on the arena project and added some clarity. So they hope LSU Board of Supervisors will give thumbs up, a go in their fall board meeting. If so, shovels in the ground shortly thereafter, looking for 2029 potentially as an open date, a launch date for the new arena, which will be on the golf course. The presently where the golf course is across from Alec Box Stadium, with the idea of an entire mixed-use economic development area that could include retail, would include their sports medicine facility, shopping, dining, really as an economic hub. I believe the way they describe it is like that first domino to fall to create this big economic engine. That would just be so massive. To see this get done, and for Our Lady of the Lake, and as I said about a year ago, last fall, LSU initially approached Our Lady of the Lake about the possible opportunity for the naming rights of the arena. They hired a consultant that went through sort of an evaluation of brand equity to see if it would make sense, and obviously they arrived at this conclusion where it made a ton of sense. Where I believe what EJ told us there was that their consultants came back and said LSU was a top 5 brand in the world, which is incredible to think, not just in college athletics, but it does make a lot of sense when you start to think about all the different things that have become so front and center and well known, really in the NIL era, where what Shaq and Livy Dunn and Joe Burrow and I mean, Jaden Daniels, go down the list of what it's been. It's exciting, man. For those who just care about the sports component of it. I mean, I'm there with you. I host a sports show. Like, yeah, the PMAC. PMAC's a dump. It's the PMAC and Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa are the worst venues in the SEC. And it wasn't always that way, but it's an old building. I mean, it's a 50-plus-year-old building. And it's had touch-ups here and there, but it's a dump. It's not a destination venue. And I could say, yes, Cameron Indoor at Duke. It's a brick warehouse. Cameron Indoor is a dump. So that's not why they go. At a place like LSU where basketball isn't going to be the premier focus, give people a reason to go to a cool venue with shopping and dining and entertainment district around. Yeah. It's going to drive a lot there. Something obviously very cool that Matt McMahon and Kim Mulkey and Jay Clark and will have to sell to athletes in the future. So anyway, very exciting. I appreciate those gentlemen for taking the time. I'm telling you, that's not easy. It's not easy to carve out 30 minutes of your day. We've been trying to get that on the calendar for more than a month now, and I'm glad the timing worked out and we were able to do it. So sincerely appreciate those guys. And, of course, the partnership we have with Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we look forward to that relationship. And as you mentioned, telling some of those athlete stories, we'll be able to do that here on AFR, which I'm excited to do. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. LSU practiced on Monday. Media was able to attend. It was so interesting. Today I opened up my inbox, and I had an email from Bet Online. And sometimes they'll send emails out with updated odds and, for different prop bets or whatever the case may be, win totals. And this one was statistical leaders by conference. And so they sent the projected SEC leaders in passing yards, rushing yards, and receiving yards. And it should come as no surprise whatsoever that Garrett Nussmeier is favored to lead the SEC in passing. He is minus 150. The next closest is Blake Shapen at Mississippi State at plus 400. So major gap there. And it does make sense if Shapen stays healthy. Remember, that's Jeff Levy's offense. It's a pass-happy offense. So that could absolutely make sense. Arch Manning plus 700. Ty Simpson plus 900. DJ Lagway plus 1,200. Gunnar Stockton plus 2,000. Then Austin Simmons, Taylor Green, Jackson Arnold, Lenora Sellers at plus 2,800. Yeah, it's going to sling it around, right? Anyway, whatever. All that to say, not surprising to see Nuss, the only 4,000-yard passer returning in college football. What did surprise me is that if you flip over to the SEC rushing yardage leader projected, at the top of the list is LSU sophomore Caden Durham. Now, he's plus 750. That means if you bet 100, you'd win 750. Damari Alston from Auburn is second at plus 900 with Jam Miller from Alabama, both at plus 900. Then C.J. Baxter at Texas, Jaden Baugh from Florida, Rasul Faison from South Carolina, who just gained his eligibility, Ahmad Hardy from Missouri, Le'Veon Moss from A&M, Quintravian Wisner from Texas, Devon Booth from Mississippi State round out the top 10. But Durham there at the top. Now, that does make a little bit of sense. I know we're going to look and say, man, LSU was dead last in the SEC in rushing yards. They were 104th in the country in rushing offense a year ago, which is all true. And Caden Durham still ran for 750 yards last year and played half the season with 2 dislocated toes and didn't even have a carry in the opener against USC. He didn't really come on until the game at South Carolina. A full season, healthy Caden Durham with 200 rushing attempts should be 1,000-yard back and could very well lead the SEC. Now, a couple of observations or points I'd like to make. One, I think Texas A&M is going to lead the conference in rushing. They have 3 really good backs, plus their quarterback, Marcel Reed, is a runner as well, and they return 4 starters on the offensive line. Probably the best offensive line, certainly the best offensive line in the SEC, arguably the best offensive line in college football. on paper coming back, and then 3 really good running backs and a quarterback that can run. I think A&M leads the conference in rushing. But when you have 3 running backs and a quarterback that can run, it's not likely that one guy is going to get 200, 220 carries that's going to be able to rush for 1,200, 1,500 yards. So you're just going to have a lot of sort of cannibalization there with guys eating up different carries. So you look for a team that has a bell cow that should be able to run the ball well. It makes a lot of sense for Caden Durham there. Because I do think as we look at LSU's running game, Caden Durham is your number 1. We continue to see Caleb Jackson run as the number 2. Harlan Berry is the 3. And then something we've seen in practice so far in fall camp is Juwan Johnson is taking reps at running back. Like, he's lining up in the backfield. He'll take direct snaps. But then also with Nuss in there, Nuss will take shotgun snaps and hand the ball to Juwan Johnson. So I think there's a component there. And they're going to get creative in the way that they run the ball. We've seen Xavier Thomas, Aaron Anderson line up in the backfield, opposite Nuss. So they're going to get jet sweeps, and they're going to be creative in the way they run the ball. This is the way I'd say it. LSU, it may not be a traditional I formation, pistol formation where they run the ball in traditional ways, but they are going to run the football because they have to run the football. And they're showing many different creative ways in which they are trying to run the football, including direct snaps to Juwan Johnson, et cetera. But Caden Durham has that opportunity to lead the conference in rushing this year, because I think he is going to be the guy who gets 200 rushing, provided he stays healthy. Like, he will get 200 rushing attempts this year. And if he carries the ball 200 times at 5.5 yards a carry like he did a year ago, you're talking about a guy that's going to have 1,100 yards, and that could very well lead the conference. So one thing worth keeping an eye on. But the thing that is just so obvious, so abundantly clear, LSU's offense is going to be really good. And I know that sounds like a very obvious statement, but you're returning a 4,000-yard passer, a guy that ran for 750 yards last year on a bum wheel, and the embarrassment of riches at receiver, where we talk about Aaron Anderson, your leading returning receiver, Xavier Thomas, who's a proven commodity as well at this point, Chris Hilton, who's a dynamic game breaker. You add Nick Anderson. Oh, by the way, Barrion Brown just keeps making plays every day, and they're forcing him the ball because they know what he can do with it in space. We haven't even gotten to the point where you talk about Trades Green and Bauer Sharp and what they mean, and maybe Harlan Berry as a pass catcher out of the backfield. There's just too much offensive skill there for opposing defenses to deal with. Like, this is going to be an offense that pushes in the top 10 nationally in all the statistical categories. The key for the team, though, to have team success is the defense needs to take another step under Blake Baker. And that's why maybe for me so far through 5 camp practices, and I've been at every minute of availability they've given us so far, the most encouraging component is that defense every day makes plays against the offense. And I know this offense is good. Like, it's not they could be good. Like, they're proven commodities offensively. And the defense keeps making plays. I mean, you were 61st nationally in total defense a year ago. If you can go from 61st, I'm not even saying top 10, just go to 31st. Be what Georgia was defensively a year ago. Remember, Georgia last year was 30th nationally in total defense. Just go from 61st to 30th. With an offense that scores 40 a game, you're going to have a chance to win every single game you play. I'm not saying you're going undefeated. I'm going to say you have a chance to win every game you play. And if that's the case, you're going to have some really good results and probably find yourself playing meaningful games in January. All right, it's after further review. Brought to you by Parrish Construction and Roofing, parrishbuilt.com, parrishbuilt.com. Tell you every day to do business with someone you know. That's Parrish Construction and Roofing, me and Terrio and Richard Tilley and Joe Morales and Trent Davis and our great crew over there. Tell you about Matt Pearson, our commercial roofing manager. I love the team we've been able to build and the great work we've been able to do at Parrish Construction and Roofing. And so many people who have trusted us. Like, go to the homepage of our website. You'll see a video right there of Kim Mulkey. We've done work for Coach, for members of her family as well. And it's our honor when you give us the opportunity to earn your business at Parrish Construction and Roofing. From the smallest roof repair to the largest commercial, re-roof or roof replacement, we have options. We have the knowledge, the know-how, the experience to get the job done fast, get it done right, and with people that you know. So we'd love to help you out. ParrishBuilt.com, ParrishBuilt.com. We do offer financing as well, so if you're worried about your ability to pay for a new roof or even to pay your deductible, we can help you finance your deductible. Just let us have that conversation. Let our team make it work for you. ParrishBuilt.com, ParrishBuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing. That's ParrishBuilt.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Monday show. If you miss anything, AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time at golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. Gave you the fall camp report from LSU in hour number 1. Ross Jackson was here in hour number 2. We did give you our reaction to LSU landing Deuce Gerald's, the big defensive lineman. That was in hour 2. A great conversation with EJ Kuiper and Ryan Cross from FMOL earlier this hour. Remember, catch anything on demand if you missed it at a podcast or on YouTube. Just search AFR LSU for the LSU content, AFR Saints for the Saints content. The Otter is back. We'll wrap up with Otter Locks next.
AFR.
Action Industries is a proud partner of LSU Athletics, and we are in turnaround season for a few more months, y'all. Turnaround season, March to October, generally speaking. So if you got that turnaround coming up, you need someone to bid that turnaround job, love it if you'd give our friends over at Action Industries the opportunity to earn your business. Remember, at Action Industries, they have the Advanced Turnaround Group. It's a subsidiary of Action Industries, the Advanced Turnaround Group. So this isn't taking people from other parts of the business and throwing them into the turnaround world. These are turnaround managers and coordinators, workers who are proficient in getting your turnaround done efficiently, safely, effectively, people who spend their entire careers just working in the turnaround world. It's the Advanced Turnaround Group at Action Industries. Learn more, actionindinc.com. Action Industries Incorporated. actionindinc.com. Action Industries, innovation in action.
After Further Review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and we do shutters too.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on this Monday edition of AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We got one thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Hey, Otter! Let's...
Where the surf meets the turf.
That's so
That
ridiculous.
old Jamal.
How did you do?
Lost less. So there we go. Yeah. Yes, indeed. That's a win. That's a win.
That is a win.
That's a
all
win.
right. So, got some MLB action tonight. How are we feeling about it?
All right. Feeling good. Put them out early on the show today also, just to kind of give, because these were trending as public plays today. Normally, I'm not on the public side, but this is MLB post-trade deadline, and the separation is wider between the haves and the have-nots. But one of those teams that was a seller of the Miami Marlins, second hottest team in baseball last 2 months, Sandy Alcantara, was horrible for about his first 5 starts, but he has been on fire as of late. Last 2 starts are shutouts. So we have him against a free-falling Astros against a suspect pitcher. No score, bottom of the first in Miami on that one if you want to get on in-game. Moneyline parlay with the Phillies. The Phillies, and boy, they put their closer on display last night on ESPN Baseball. Duran, he's been outstanding. They kind of needed that. Against the Orioles, who they've been just bad all year, and they were a seller. We're going to hook it up with the Mets. And this is the new version of Sean Manaea. The old Sean Manaea was kind of a gas can. This guy is going a little bit more three-quarter delivery, and it is producing results. They picked up, they shored up their bullpen, so they're lights out with that bullpen. Just get 5 out of Manaea. they should be good against the Cleveland Guardians. So that Phillies Mets parlay was paying plus 128 earlier today. Not sure what it is right now.
1 minute remaining.
Let me see. I can try to link it up. Go ahead.
Red Sox -1. That's available at DraftKings, the Queen Sportsbook. So it's just him and Bet Rivers that available. You got to leave 1.5 everywhere else. We don't want to do that with the home team. So we're taking the Boston Red Sox there, and then we're going with the hottest team in Major League Baseball the last 2 months. That's the Milwaukee Brewers. They are pounding the baseball. We're going to lay the run. Kind of a nondescript, starter, but very good starter as of late. We're going with the Brewers -1.5 plus money.
Phillies Mets plus 126 right now.
There you go. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good price. That price held pretty good.
Where are you tomorrow?
We are at Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in Mid-City.
Otter, it's great to have you back, man. Good luck tonight.
I'm glad to be back.
No, you're not. Get out of here.
I'm sweating.
Get out. All right, we'll see you tomorrow at Muse Play. Thanks. See you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.